Mr. Gregory Heath was an elderly man living alone in a grand, decaying mansion at the edge of the town. Known for his reclusive nature, he seldom interacted with the other townsfolk who made up stories about him and his seemingly haunted abode. The mansion, with its creaky floors, cobwebbed corners, and eerie silence, stood as a solitary figure against the backdrop of the dense forest. On a particularly chilly October evening, as the town was wrapped in a foggy mist, Mr. Heath sat by the fireplace reading an old, leather-bound book. The flickering flames cast shadows that danced ominously on the walls, making the empty house feel alive. To anyone watching, it would seem like a scene pulled straight out of a dark fairy tale. As the clock struck midnight, a distant, unsettling whisper echoed through the hallways. Mr. Heath paused, his gnarled fingers clutching the pages of his book. He was used to the usual sounds of the old house, the howling winds, the settling wood, but this whisper was different. It seemed to carry a chilling message, calling his name softly, Gregory, Gregory. Ignoring it, he continued to read, attributing the sound to his imagination. But as minutes passed, the whispers grew louder and more persistent, spreading a cold dread through his veins. With a reluctant sigh, Mr. Heath closed his book and rose from his chair, the warmth of the fire suddenly feeling insufficient. He grabbed a candle and began his search for the source of the mysterious whispers. Room by room, he wandered through the labyrinthine corridors, but the whispers seemed to come from all around, leading him deeper into the heart of the mansion. His breath quickened, and the hair on the back of his neck stood on end as he approached the basement door. The basement was a place he rarely visited. It held too many memories of the past, memories he had buried deep within. As he descended the creaky stairs, the whispers became almost deafening. The candle flickered violently, casting grotesque shadows on the stone walls. He reached the bottom, and the whispers coalesced into a harrowing sigh. In the center of the basement, illuminated in the dim candlelight, was an old, dusty mirror. Mr. Heath approached it, his reflection distorted and ghostly. He touched the surface, and the whispers abruptly stopped. The room was plunged into an eerie silence, broken only by the sound of his own heartbeat. Suddenly, a cold hand grasped his shoulder. He turned swiftly but saw nothing. His eyes darted back to the mirror, and there, standing behind his reflection, was the ghostly figure of a woman. Her eyes were hollow, and her mouth moved without sound. Panic surged through him. He staggered back, dropping the candle. The basement plunged into darkness. The following morning, the townsfolk noticed that Mr. Heath did not come to the market as he occasionally did. Curiosity piqued, a few daring souls decided to visit the mansion. They found the front door ajar, the inside as cold and enigmatic as ever. Down in the basement, they discovered Mr. Heath sitting lifelessly, his eyes staring at the old mirror, a look of sheer terror frozen on his face.